All right, you guys, in this video, we are going to be talking about the agency ATM system as a whole. So let me move my camera out of the way. Now, this is the agency ATM model, you guys. So in the beginning, if you're a brand new person that is just starting your agency, or you could be currently running an agency and have been running it for a while and you're still working towards getting to $10,000 a month, right? This is really the starting point. So 0 to 10K a month. 10K is that first threshold where you typically have enough income coming in where you can start to think about having other teammates in your business. Now, pretty much all the way up to 50K, like we're going to be showing you guys how we do that just using white label providers, okay? In fact, getting to that point, you really can still be doing all of your own sales. And in fact, I suggest it. I suggest doing your own sales probably until you're at least to $25,000 monthly recurring. And there's reason behind that, okay? There's reason behind why you want to do that yourself and keep that part of your business, because it is one of the most important aspects of your business. And in all honesty, when you follow our system with pricing and our structure, sales becomes pretty easy because you're really creating a system and a structure that you just repeat over and over again, and you're looking for the right individuals that understand the value that you bring to the table. All right, so, but that's the beginning. When you hit over 10K, that's where you start building. You can start thinking about, VAs, project managers, operations, all that stuff, and you start to actually build individuals into your team that help make your life easier in different areas of the business. Scaling from 25 to 50K, right? Once you hit 25K, it's really not that difficult to get to 50. It's really just about implementing a few more key players in your business and then scaling the business. And then that's when you're gonna basically have your machine built, which is your ATM, which is gonna be, when you get to 50K, you're going to have the team, the resources to really double down and scale that thing to over $100,000 a month. So what is your goal? Okay, so I always talk about this with all of our students, which is ultimately, what kind of business do you want to have? Okay, for those of you that have followed me for a while and have been coached by me, know that like I travel a ton. I've got other businesses, right? This isn't the only thing that I'm able to do, because I built my agency really to be more of a lifestyle business. And you really can sit in that $25,000 to $50,000 range and it be a lifestyle business, because at some point you have to make that decision. Do you want to have a large business with more employees and more people to kind of implement into that? Or do you want to, kind of coast where you've got fewer people, you've got good income coming into your business, and it's more of a lifestyle business, right? So I want you guys to write down your goal, like what kind of agency do you want for yourself? And I really mean write it down, right? Taking notes through this whole process, you guys, and actually writing down and envisioning how you want your business to look, the goal for it, even income-wise, what range do you want to get to? And write it in future tense, right? I am a 7-figure agency, or I am a 6-figure agency with lifestyle and freedom and all of that stuff. Like, write down exactly how you want your business to look. Now, to get there are 3 main key buckets of your business that we're going to be showing you guys how to complete and what that looks like. So each of these, you guys, number 1 is you got to get clients, right? So to do that, you've got to fill your pipeline. You've got to have a sales process, and we've got to have branding where people start to recognize who you are, what you do, the vertical that you're in, and they start to see you as an expert, right? So that's one key bucket. The other is fulfillment. So once you get a client, right, how do you fulfill that service? How do you put systems in place so your team knows exactly what to do when that client gets landed? And then obviously teams and systems are the other piece of that. So you've got contractors, teams, and systems, right? That's going to be your fulfillment phase. And that is really to make sure that your client is getting exactly what you're selling. And again, don't worry if you've never done agency sales before. It is okay. We're going to show you exactly how to take these white label providers, how to understand their service, how to understand their fulfillment process, and how you're going to actually present that to your clients. All right. Now, the third piece is onboarding, client communication, project management, and then upselling. Okay. And all of this equates to your cash flow, you guys, as an agency. So onboarding is very simple. Okay. We're going to teach you guys the simplest form to onboard clients, where each individual service that your white label contractor initially is providing, how you're going to go grab that information from that company. You're going to implement it into a simple onboarding form that you can hand off to clients so they fill in the information exactly relevant to your white label contractor. Okay. So onboarding is really a system of hopping on a quick call after the onboarding form is filled out to make sure and verify that all the information is correct. Once you verify that information is correct, that gets passed on to your fulfillment team, aka contractor, aka white label provider, and the job starts. The job begins. Okay. Now, once a job begins, the job's not finished, right? There's still communication that's going to need to take place. So, creating an easy system for yourself for communication is important, and making a decision on how much communication you actually want with your clients, right? When you're brand new and you've got less than 10 clients, it's really easy to say, hey, here's my cell phone. Hey, here's a Slack channel, and email. But you will have some clients that are super needy, that need a lot of communication. You're going to have other clients that don't need a ton of communication. So having key communication things in place is going to be important, right? Project management. Again, if you're using all white label contractors, I mean, ultimately you don't really need a ton of project management software, but there are a lot of softwares that you can utilize to keep your projects in play. Now, the easiest method that we're going to show you guys is just Google Sheets, right? Making sure that you have something internally so you know where all your projects are at. So you know when you bring a project on, you can put those details down, their date for reporting, the date of the start, what packages they're on, all of that stuff, and eventually be able to bring on a project manager once you're past, say, 10 clients, and easily show them how to follow the systems that you follow and that you're creating for yourself. Because that's the key here. Everything that you're doing and everything that we're teaching you is to build a system and structure that you eventually can have team members run those things for you, and then you can go focus on other aspects of your business. So the big thing here, you guys, is choosing your niche and your vertical, okay? This is the most important part, and you don't want to take it lightly, but you also don't want to overly confuse it. There are niches that we are going to give you guys as far as niche lists to choose from. But the key is really doing your research in those niches. You want to understand how that niche speaks, the languages that they use, the services that they key in on. For instance, roofing, right? Roofers are mostly going to be focused on, say, Google Ads and SEO. You know, they may want social media management, they may not, but that's very different from, for instance, even take solar, for instance, right? So solar clients might do better on Facebook than they would on Google, right? So determining where your niche industry lives and breathes, and ultimately what kind of services they're looking for, this is going to be a part of your research phase. But also, really, those first 3 clients that we're going to teach you guys to get and how to get them easily, that is also going to be a big part of your research phase. Okay, so really understanding your clients, having a little bit more communication with those first clients on what it is that they want and need, and going through that whole process front to back so you can understand them. But choosing a niche, 1 service focus, okay, maximum of 2. I do not want you guys thinking about going out there and offering more than 2 services in any vertical. for the first year, really. If you want to get to 6 figures fast, this is the fastest way to do it. One niche, one service, a single sales process. So you're taking those business owners through the same sales process over and over again, and you're tightening and tightening and tightening it up. Okay. Right? Because the first sales call might not go the best. The second one goes better. The third one goes great. The fourth one, and all of a sudden you can really start to dial in your KPIs, which is your key performance indicators, to determine, how to make a higher closing percentage of the calls that come in through your business. One core offer, okay? We're going to simplify your pricing. We're going to simplify your offers so it makes sense for business owners, so you can just repeat that process, build relationship, and close deals, okay? And I want you to focus on this really for the first year. Okay, so these must be monthly recurring and must be on Autopay. All right. I do not want you guys chasing after checks. I don't want you guys chasing a client to pay you, right? We're going to show you how to set all this stuff up on Autopay and how these are monthly recurring packages. So once your client's on them, you're not having to worry about what's next, right? You're going to really create a system here for the service offering, the reporting dates, the rebills, all of that stuff is going to be automatic. So you can create a machine. Now, the money map, the Agency ATM money map looks like this, you guys. You can either go out and get one client for $83,000 and you'll have a seven-figure agency by the end of the year, basically. You can get 9 clients at $10,000. You can get 41 clients at $2,000, 83 clients at $1,000, or 166 clients at $500 per month. So the question being, what vertical do you want to be in? Okay. Now, with that said, if you have very little to no experience, these first two, I would say just stay away from. They're not really an option for you. In fact, most companies can rarely pull this off, even with really good experience. Now, these two right here, the 41 and 83, this is your wheelhouse. Okay, this is the sweet spot for whatever reason. These price points just crush. They seem to work really well. They're not too much to where businesses pull away from you. They're not too little to where you can't make any money. And then you've got your $500 per month, which again, I see a lot of agencies offer services like this. I will say that a lot of companies are going to see this as a devalued service, right? If you're offering services at $500 per month. Now, again, this does not count the quick 3 that we teach you guys, okay? We are going to teach you guys how to go out there and rapidly get your first 3 case studies and your first 3 clients, and to be ROI positive as an agency within, your first couple of weeks. And we are pitching a lower price on those particular services if you're brand new and you don't have case studies and you need to get them fast. So just remember that when we talk about that offering, it's very different to how you're going to actually price your services moving forward. Now, the other thing to consider is that some clients are going to be on 2 services. So even if you're at $1,000 price point per service, you're going to have some clients that are still a $2,000 price point. So we're going to talk a little bit about the psychology behind the pricing, but how many of you guys think that over the next year, 2 years, you could land 41 clients? And just to put it into perspective, if you're running ads the way that we show you to run ads, you're going to easily be speaking to 40 to 80 companies a month doing this. And if you look at the rate of close, it doesn't take long to get to 41 clients, you guys. And 41 clients equates to a 7-figure agency. So just do the math there. It's not astronomical. And that's the best part about this, is even if you were on the $1,000, getting to 83 clients over a period of time is not that difficult when you create a system that is repeatable and you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, landing your first 5 paid clients, this is pretty typical here, you guys. So landing 5 clients on a 20% close rate. So this, I find this is pretty fair. Even if you're not great at sales, you can get a 10 to 20% close rate, okay? If you're just following a system and structure and your price points are set and you're not having to think through much and you're really just following the scripts that we give you, then you can get to a 10 to 20% close rate. Okay. If you have 25 appointments in a month and at a 20% close rate, that's 5 closed deals. Okay. So right there, you're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 a month in monthly recurring income. So think about that. How quickly can you get to the base level of 10K a month? Well, that's where you're stepping up to that next point where you're starting to build, you're starting to implement a team. So you can do this in multiple ways. You can do this through organic, which is going to be slow. You can do this through paid ads, which is going to be fast. We're going to show you guys how to do each of these steps. But to get to $10,000 monthly recurring income, you can do it pretty quickly following these methods. All right. Now, of these methods, okay, this is the main methods of outreach that you're going to be utilizing in the Agency ATM. Okay. I put cold outreach in the middle because if you're completely bootstrapped, you have no money to put into ads or any type of other setups, then cold outreach is going to probably be your bread and butter at first. This is your direct network. This is going to the gym and talking to people. This is going to, it could be industry events even, but I put Meetups up here for a reason. And I do consider that separate, but cold outreach, again, could be going on Google and finding companies in your vertical and reaching out to them via email or Messenger or Facebook. So you can do a lot of things with cold outreach yourself, okay? Now, the faster routes are going to be paid ads, right? So Facebook ads are still, our bread and butter. YouTube works well, TikTok and Instagram as well. You've got inbound marketing, which is really just putting out killer content, value, webinars, expertise. Inside of the Agency ATM, you guys, we're gonna basically give you a template for a killer webinar that you can use for local business industries. And you can host those as often as you want to host them, take them through your full system, help them understand what it is that you do and what you offer. Okay. And then ultimately, that also shows that you're an expert in your industry. Just in learning and putting together that webinar, you guys, and practicing that, you're going to start to become and look like an expert in your industry. So that's something that we really want to share with you. Also with AI, with ChatGPT, you can really go on there and start to learn a lot about an industry and start to put together great content, which you can put up on blog posts, which you can then turn into videos, which then you can cut up and put on short form video and put out on TikTok and a bunch of other stuff, because you're going to start to create an inbound marketing approach where using short form video, essentially, you can pull people into your business and then guide them to a webinar or guide them to a sales call and talk to them about what it is that you do. Now, podcasts, meetups, and networking, I put this in its own bucket because ultimately, you do kind of have to have a little experience in the industry before you start kind of doing these things, but they're super effective. So going to trade shows for your industry, going to meetups in your industry and actually meeting people face to face and just talking about what it is that you do and how you help that niche. And then same thing with podcasts. Great way to podcast where you can interview top industries or top businesses in your industry and just ask them questions about their setup, their, how they grew their business. Like there's all sorts of stuff. And then again, you're curating that content, and a lot of this podcasting actually ends up creating more inbound marketing stuff as well. And then the other thing would be other industry experts. Okay. I use this one all the time in our industry and vertical, because if you're working in a specific industry, and take HVAC, for instance, right? If you're doing HVAC marketing, the truth is that there's other types of industries, realtors, roofers, that tie in with HVAC. So being able to network with other industry experts and say, hey, I've got this service that I offer. I know you offer this. Why don't we cross promote each other? And that's just another great way to bring business in. So with that, you guys, with landing clients, it's pretty simple, right? We're going to show you guys how to set up your CRM, which we're using Go High Level to do so. We're using cold outreach and ads to bring people into us. We are taking them to an opt-in, which books an appointment, and then you have your calendar system for that booking, right? And then this is the key piece here that most agencies miss, is the follow-up, the automations, and the systematizing their business. So not just having that calendar appointment, but having automated text messages and emails and stuff that are going out over a period of time. Having automations for if somebody doesn't show up to a meeting, and you can slide their card over that says no show, and then all of a sudden they get a different set of automations and emails. And really turning the whole thing into, again, a machine, the agency ATM, right? So systematizing the whole thing to where every single person that comes into your business goes through this entire same workflow. This is something generalist agencies, you guys, cannot do. And that's the biggest thing here, right? They cannot automate their follow-up. They can't consistently speak to their audience that they're trying to grow in. And it's hard to build an attractive expertise brand if you're not in a single vertical. If you're trying to do this with a bunch of different businesses, you can't speak to, hey, HVAC owners, are you having this problem, right? And then same thing in all of your automated emails and messages, you can't do that. So it's why it's so important to find your vertical. All right, so this is what this looks like, you guys, is basically we've got our niche potential clients, right, that we are pulling in using clear targeting, using an opt-in, setting an appointment, and then having all of our hot lead follow-up in place. And this is the agency ATM system. So we look forward to working with each and every one of you to show you guys this process, to get all these things set up for your own business, and to start really having follow-up systems in place to take the most advantage of your marketing. So that's the whole thing, you guys, is when you're spending money on ads, you don't want to just lose people in the process. You're putting a lot of your time and energy and money into advertising and other inbound systems. So whether it be podcasting or any of that stuff, when someone comes into your business, you got to understand that without the proper nurture in place, you're probably losing 20 to 30% of your potential business, which is a lot of money that's just slipping through when you don't have these things in place. So let's get them set up for you guys. Let's help you guys build a better machine, and we will see you guys in the next video.